SDS started back at kind of like at uni vibes where I met Jade and met Aisha. We were talking about Croydon and how bad the music scene in Croydon was. So I said to Jade, hey, how about we start SDS Entertainment? It came about mainly because I went to a venue in Croydon and asked them to put on an open mic night, and they didn't have any. And they told me that if I was doing urban music, I would have to hire more security and fill out a Form 696, and there was a whole bunch of bits and pieces. I didn't know what Form 696 was, so I did some research and found a really, really bad form. It was a really bad racist form, so I set my goal out to get through it. The form said that if you was a DJ or an MC performing to a backing track, you have to fill out this form 14 days before your event was going to happen, but the police can come within that 14-day period and shut your event down without no reason whatsoever.
You had to write down like the genders of your target audience, the age bracket, the ethnicity.
The first couple, there was like 3 different variations of the form. The first one would say to you need to have your name on it, the target audience of the people you're going to be performing to, and a couple other bits and pieces. So people were complaining, so they got rid of the part on the form that said include the ethnic makeup of the audience. But it still was only targeted at rappers, DJs, any kind of urban music. Kind of form of music. So what I ended up doing was taking the information to a place that I work at called British Underground, and we ended up putting together numerous different reports and taking it to the Musicians Union, Department of Culture, Media and Sport, UK Music, University of Westminster got involved, and a bunch of other bodies, and we set out to scrap Form 696, and that's exactly what we did.
We got rid of it.
Change things because it meant that if you were going to put on an event now, you wouldn't be stopped with like this piece of paper to say, oh, you can't put on the event, especially if it's like black music. So as soon as it was scrapped, I saw that as an opportunity to go and start events in Croydon, because people can come and say to you, oh, you know, you can't do this.
We think that, so I went to the Root School, which is in Croydon. I always have to plug them. Obviously, a lot of us, we live in Croydon, so we think that we thought at the time that it was weird that there wasn't like a creative space for us to go in Croydon, especially when such big talent like Stormzy and Nadia Rose have all been birthed in that borough. There's nowhere that you can say, oh wait, I watched Nadia Rose when she was performing at this age here in Croydon. Like, that doesn't happen. So that's kind of what Michaela's issue was, and what she wanted to create was like a safe space for people in that borough to be able to express themselves, basically.
Yeah, there's not a creative hub spot, what we like to call in Croydon, for the creatives to kind of know each other. If you want to find a videographer or photographer, I can't tell you exactly where you would go and find them. If you're an artist, singer, you want to find a DJ, producer, anything like that. If you cross the river, as we say, you can go to like Shoreditch, you'll find a little places there to network. We don't have that in Croydon, which is crazy.
Pre-Rona, we was putting on monthly hub nights, is what we called it. So it was a night where we had like an open mic style vibe. We had artists, poets, beatboxers. They would come. Yeah, they would come and perform, and it would be a spot where videographers can come. We had an artist selling her artwork at our event as well. So it was like a big space where people, any type of creator can come and network and watch music, play games. It was just big. It was a vibe. It was a vibe.
So obviously during Rona times, we had to change that because we're all live events, and now we can't do live events. So we've had to change how we approach our hub project. So instead now we have a website, for example, where we're calling it like the Creative Hub Forum. Artists can go in there, you can find a lot of information about funding, because a lot of people don't know about funding, and as I say, the free money that you can get. We then produced our first ever virtual festival. That was a vibe, the BOP Live. So we managed to have 13, 14 artists that we put on 4 different key venues, we're calling it in Croydon. They all networked to each other and started following each other, and created a whole vibe.
That was a hub there.
That was a hub there. Yeah. So we're still pushing the hub movement, even though Miss Rona is looking on it.
Wow. Well, so basically it starts with Michaela though.
Yeah. It's how everyone knows Michaela. Michaela's the main one.
So I I went to school with Shaheen, Nicole and Ty. And then went to uni with Aisha and Jade. And Nisha, I met through Jade because they're relatives. That's how it started. So, you know, originally when I had the idea of SDS, like, okay, it's time to fix Croydon. Who don't know what's to help fix Croydon? Jade. So then we started talking and, you know, came up with the idea of SDS is put on events. We need a photographer, Shaheen. We need somebody to design the SDS logo, Tybert. We need somebody to be the host, Aisha. We need somebody to help with social media, Nisha. We need somebody to help with communication, artist, Nicole. So the team that kind of just formed and has stuck.
Yeah.
I think you can definitely see a vision with SDS. Like in a couple of years later, like people will be like, Croydon, SDS. Because I feel like we're the only kind of people that are trying to bring creatives in that area. And there should be already, but we're making it happen. So.
Taking the first few steps.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean,
It's already started to happen.
yeah.
Well, it did start.
It did start
It's
happening.
Because there's already limited space you can go in Croydon as it is, and there's different limitations and stuff that happen. Croydon has a very bad past, especially when it comes to music, nightlife. An example was a couple of years back, Diaspora, they were given a bashment ban and told that they can't play bashment, and if they did, their license would be taken away from them. So for example, on some of the flyers they were told don't mention bashment, don't mention garage, mention commercial artists like Drake and Rihanna, in order for you not to get a certain crowd of people to attend your nights. So because of that, a lot of people stopped going out to clubs in Croydon. So what we're trying to do is say enough of that and bring everybody back.
I mean as well, because we always talk about like when we were young, we'd have so many. When we were younger. Sorry, yeah, I'm not old. When we was younger, we'd always talk about like when we'd go out to Tiger or when we had Yates, like they was all fun places and there'd always be crowds of people in Croydon and
People actually used to travel.
traveling to Croydon to come. But then like Misha, she's coming to the age where she can go out and she can't go out in Croydon because it's all been shut down or there's nothing happening.
I'm not like 60 years old now.
Do you go out in Croydon?
No.
We used to. Like, the only place we would go was Tiger Yates and sometimes Silver.
Yeah.
But the main thing was Tiger. Our Tiger was the one that everyone knew about Croydon's Tiger.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it got closed and we were like, well, that's the end of that.
And it was affordable.
It was affordable. It was affordable, but
Not
that's...
Tiger in Central London.
But that's what everyone had to come to the Croydon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jake used to rant about it.
In general, like
Yeah, it is.
sometimes you just want like a quick night out and you just want it to be local, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think that's what we kind of want to do. It doesn't necessarily have to be like you're a raven and that, but you can come, have a vibe, have a little, you know, drink and, you know, watch music, watch people perform.
Yeah.
Entertainment, a little bit of fun. That's
Yeah.
what's lacking from the bar.
No.
I mean, there probably has been people that have tried, but it's never.
But they didn't jump for it.
They didn't, yeah.
There's a thing in Croydon where when people go on events, as we've been told, it's very hard to get people in the actual bar of Croydon to leave their house
Yes,
now and come to an event in Croydon because everyone thinks it's going to get shut down or they have some kind of bad thing about it. So when people do
Or it's going to
events,
happen once and never happen again.
exactly. I think people always try, and I would say good luck. I would say good luck. The thing with the form was bad, and I couldn't understand why the form existed. So I kept pushing and pushing. For them to, I had meetings with the Metropolitan Police, for example. We were talking to them and saying, what is the actual reason behind the form, and then giving us, answers like, oh, the form is not needed whatsoever. Really, truly, that's the truth. That they said I can actually say outdated form, like it wasn't collecting any data that they actually needed. So unless somebody actually went and spoke to these people, the form would still be here today. So when we do get our space and do all the events and bring Croydon back to life, I dare somebody to come and try and shut it down again. In terms of Croydon, making Croydon Town Centre as big as how Shoreditch and Camden spots are, for example, you've got Troy Bar, you've got the Underbelly, you've got a little kind of circuit of places that you go in those areas. We don't have that in Croydon whatsoever. You have some of the venues, but you don't have something happening, let's say every single week, or something happening every couple of weeks in Croydon. So if we can very easily do that. It's just
We
about,
have many ideas of what we can do.
yeah, we have loads of ideas of what we can do. I think that's just what we're going to push forward to do.
Ooh.
I've got my ideas.
We've got a lot coming for the next generation coming up in Croydon. More creative opportunities for them.
100%. We basically creative opportunities. I think identifying who we think as well is going to be hot and up and coming from Croydon, and kind of just giving them opportunities and working with them. We've got some stuff in the pipeline with 2 artists that we're working with already, and we can't say too much, but we've been able to kind of put like brand sort of collaborations in place for them, and give them sort of press opportunities and music opportunities as well to record music. So yeah, I just want to keep doing that for many more people.
I think it's good because maybe like not that we're old, but like in our generation, we didn't necessarily have opportunities out there like that. Well, personally, that's how I see things. So at least we're opening doors for young people to come to us and be like, okay, like I want to get into this or that, and we can help them.
But also, I think like it's key as well. Like we want young people to know that they can come to us, and like it's a safe space. Like obviously we set standards, so don't come with any foolish business. But we want you to know like this is a safe space. You can come here if you want to learn how to do something cool. Come to us and ask us. We'll try and facilitate that and stuff. But yeah, as we want to be that spot for young people, so you know you're not hanging about by the bus stop, just there.
I'm hanging out by
Outside the shop famous McDonald's, not a big gift.
Yeah.
We want to put an end to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Come back to Croydon.
Come back to
You know, and I think they will
Come
do.
back, just don't leave Croydon.
I think they would though.
I
That's the
think
thing, they will.
I mean, those are the guys that was like, oh my gosh, I remember back in the days.
Yeah.
This place and this place, when this place is shut down. So if we then brought another vibe back to Croydon, when we bring the vibe back, I think everybody would gravitate back towards us.
With the nostalgia.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to ask Michaela and Jade on camera. Will you give me? No, I'm joking.
Speak to HR.
What is your definition of setting the standards? Because that's what SDS stands for.
Good question.
I would say definition of setting the standards. I think it depends on the person and who you are as a person. Like everyone has their own standards of like what they allow, what they don't allow. Even like your work ethic or like the music you put out or the creative mind that you have. Like what's your standard?
I think for me, setting the standards has always been like exactly what SDS is doing right now as a team. I feel like we all set the standards and stuff that we do. For example, like when we do our events, we're very serious. We're about having fun, but our setting the standards is we bring the standards to our events. The people we work with, we're setting the standards. So for me, it's just setting the bar. It's literally setting the bar in Croydon, setting the bar for SDS Entertainment because we set the standards.
Yeah.
Bring us back to where we're supposed
Bring
to
us back to
be.
where
Bring
we're
us
supposed
back.
to be.
We just want to say thank you for watching. There's lots more to come, so watch this space. If you do want to keep up with us, please follow us on Instagram at SDS Entertainment. And go look for the bot. Please go and look at the bot live.
Look at it.
Definitely need to go and check that out. And also you'll be able to see some of the venues we're talking about that's in Croydon. Also, if you want to follow us on Twitter, that is at SDS Entertain. And I think that's it, guys, isn't it? That is it. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Aisha. This has been Nisha. This has been Michaela. This has been Tyler. This has been Shaheen. This has been Nicole. And last but not least, this has been Jade. And we just want to say,
SDS. Yeah.